today's video is about upgrading a calculator that I have, which is like a linked bait tool. Other people will link to it. It'll help our users. I have one right now. It's really basic and pretty bad, actually. But let's see what Cursor can do and how we can prompt it to really improve upon this. Let's just jump right into it.
The first thing I'm seeing is I hate how when this opens up, you're seeing like half of this. We're going to fix that. The second thing I really don't like is this white space up here. It leads back to fixing the first issue. This is a mistake to put this here. This doesn't need to be so big. I think this actually could be much smaller, maybe put down somewhere else. The third thing that I absolutely hate is where the results are. The results being here is really not ideal. Maybe down here in big bold terms. And down here, a bit of a blog post, like a little bit of a post. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of a post, and we can spruce up the whole color and maybe some background issues too. That's my list, and let's see if we can get it to fix. I also think ideally we need better attributes here, right? We need more things to calculate, and we can get into that in just a second. And that'll be pretty unique for each calculator that you're going to build too. I think we need some better axes tags too. And that's really it for this page, but let's just walk through it real quick with Cursor and we can see how we can actually do this. All right, cool. So I opened up Cursor, and because this channel is dedicated towards people who don't know much about code, I'm gonna dive right into it and break down this page. Everything above this div here is above this. Everything that's highlighted here is that above section, right? The calculator is this part right here, which is the simple calculator. And then the FAQ is the section that I have on the home page as well. So that's how this page breaks down. We're gonna add to that right now. So let's keep going and I'll walk through processes and steps. So the first thing I wanna do is change that top portion now that you understand the layout. So I'm gonna copy this right here and then just chat. I could just Command L. Oops, I don't know why it's not working right now. Yeah, let me Command L. Okay, here we go. Remove the white space up top. Let's just see what happens when I do that really fast. Okay, that looks good. Ready? And then we're gonna save it, and we're gonna see how we did here on our local host. So what we're gonna need to do here is, I think this actually should just be NX. That is really what it is. MX right here is margin on the sides, and MY is margin up top. So you can see that change right here. Doesn't look terrible like that either. Yeah, but I think MX is really the change there. So anytime you see M, it stands for margin. P stands for padding. So padding top 24. For example, let's see exactly where that is. I actually think it already looks a little bit better. All right, so we're gonna remove that. We're just gonna clean this up a bit. All right, co-buying real estate. Doesn't have monthly costs broken down. I think that's something we should add here. We're gonna figure that out in just a second. But so far, we're basically breaking down the top here, cleaning up the code, and we're gonna make something better. This is just a small call to action. I think I can add a small animation to it. That's the one thing I don't love. All right, we got the A's, we got the divs right here. And that says get started co-buying real estate today. All right, cool. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different here. Again, Command L and add a small animation on hover. All right, so now this should hover a little bit when I'm hovering over it, hopefully, so it makes it look like it's actually moving. And add transform scale to the A tag. And the A tag is the whole thing, so perfect. All right, did I do it? Yeah, looks so perfect. All right, now let's see it. Let's reload it. That looks so good. That was exactly what I wanted. All right, now we have our first animation placed in there. Make the arrow icon moves slightly to the right when you hover over the A tag, just like the animation you... Basically, I'm asking it right here to just move this icon with it to make sure it's really crisp. Let's go back to cursor and accept that. Added group to the A tags. This does look pretty good. Once you start to code for a little bit, you'll start to read code just by looking at it. Hang on. Oop, I don't think I saved it. So we're saving it now. I meant just the icon. Move just the icon, not the whole gray box with it. Alright, so now let's see what is spun up here. It would look really crisp. Yeah, to me that looks much better with the arrow as well. Alright, cool. So we took care of the animation here. Co-buying real estate calculator. This calculator breaks down all costs of co-owning or buying any piece of real estate with a group of people. I feel like it's not true right here. We got to change the words on this because it doesn't actually break down all the costs. It just breaks down the mortgage. Again, look at the text from Cursor. That's unreal. That is just giving you that result. It knows exactly what we're talking about right off the bat. Let's just do it. Helps you understand the costs and benefits. Okay, that looks better already. And the next thing we're gonna do here is this. All right, now that I messed with some of the CSS, I did change the color on this, got the animation on this down. What I think I'm gonna do here now is move this down here somewhere in the text post section, and we're gonna really get started on the calculator component itself. So this is gonna be the meat of the video and really what you wanna watch. Now, I just opened up the calculator component itself, which is shown on my screen. What's important right now is going back to Cursor, and we're gonna exit out all of our chats. We're gonna clean it, and basically we're gonna select the entire file here, and we're gonna Command L. Now, if you wanna go back to our file here, the first thing I wanna do is change these three things right here. So what we're gonna do here is ask it, can you please move it to the column? So I'm asking it this to be put over here. And we're gonna do that in just a sec. Very cool. It basically did it. It did almost exactly what I was imagining and wanted, but I think I'm gonna need to touch this up a little bit. So instead of it being right there, all right, so basically all I did was make sure I said that this is stickied at the bottom of the column, which hopefully should be something like right there. Okay, now it should be stickied. Let's check it out. So now it's stickied at the bottom, and it's starting to look pretty good. In this file, I think there's a couple things that we should actually add, which is your actual rent income. So how much income you're having and how much expenditure you're having. So that way we can actually generate like how much money you're making each month on the property. So just give me a second and I'm gonna map that out and ask the AI to figure it out for me.
So if you're dealing with a complex component like a calculator, you really need to enable this into your app. Basically, you need to enable this in your app, in your Cursor IDE. And how you do that is by going here and then typing in the file that you need. For example, if I wanted to edit this file right here, the calculator graph, I also need the graph guide. So let me just double check, make sure that's in there. Oops. And it turns out we didn't have that one. All right, so now we should have every single file in there that touches the calculator. So cool. Now we're going to ask it anything. So I'm trying to get this AI to add an input here that's going to be the average cost each month to own the property. So let's see if it hooks everything up. I'm also asking to show it on the graph as well. So let's see what it comes up with. All right, so we're going to accept everything here. And it really broke it down into a couple steps, I think 4 steps. We're just going to try it. If you don't understand how to code, I would really recommend not building a calculator. And as we're seeing it right here, it is a total pain. Hang on, we're getting a quick error in cursor. Let me just see if we can figure that out really fast.
And this right here is a quick little change that I did to the AI. Just feel free to copy it and slow the page down to go see. All I'm really doing here is adding an input and just grouping them together in this green, but it looks really nice.
Hey, everyone. So this is a quick update on the calculator and what we've done to it. We did new components over here. We hooked everything up down here. We essentially add the public colors to the tweet, and I think that would be a less like idea in this graph here. And then the third thing I've done is finally identified everything I actually want in CV bot. What I have to do here is basically calculate returns. And so that's kind of the last step. And from there, what I'm going to be able to do is highlight each one and kind of in a different way, so it just doesn't look so like this. And see what I mean. So basically, this is just a TLE, a 3x3 technically. So stay tuned, and I'm going to share with you guys what happened just briefly after that and a couple of the props that I did. All right, so once we've identified files, what we actually want to update right here, which was this chart down here. I'm sorry, what I wanted to calculate is the monthly cash there. So I took both of the files that we needed here, with it just this one file, and of that, and see with this. Okay. E was asked it add a U value that calculates the monthly cash flow of the property. Before there should be monthly cash flow, and I gave the formula, right? So I don't have to actually do that. And it gave me the proper answer on the float to that. And I knew it. So we're going to continue here, and I'm going to ask it something. All right, so I'm going to go back up here and add a value that calculates the monthly cash flow. Instead of the monthly cash flow, add a new value that calculates the
We're back at the main headquarters right now, aka the bajillion-dollar studio this time. So one up to there, CoffeeZilla. We did. Yeah, this is just cringy. This is bad. Sorry. So, anyways, we're back at our workstation here, and I just wanted to show you what we got. We have some new stuff, and 1 second. All right, so I'm all the way up here in the corner now because I got a lot to show you. This is the calculator that we have now. As you can see, there's some kind of bug with why it's not loading in all this space over here. Other than that, I would say it's pretty darn close to perfect. We can enter in, for example, our purchase price, let's say a more accurate amount here. We can figure out how much in total we're paying. We're paying $162K throughout the life course of the loan for the house that we purchased for $200,000. And now we can calculate everything from that, right? Let's say the house has a monthly income of $2,000. Our loan costs us $454 a month. All the other costs of owning the house are $700. I'm forgetting what this purple line is now. I think that's our net operating income. This, the total cost of the purchase. I think there's might be a bug, but we can fix this, and I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, in the meantime, what I'm going to do here now is essentially refigure all of this. All right, so I broke down all of these things in the table here, and now I'm going to prompt the AI to make it look good. We're going to open up this component file, which is our calculator values. We're gonna go Command L and ask it some stuff. All right, can you please rearrange the table below into a more simple way to read it? All right, so we're gonna break down the rows here into costs, value, income, and total. What we're gonna do here also is highlight each term. Actually, we could just do this now, and then I'm gonna go through and reprompt it in order to change things around. I'm actually using GPT 01 preview here, but we'll see what it gets to, and I think it'll do it really quick. Yeah, so 01 is the one that like will rethink through things, and that's not necessarily what I feel like I really need. I don't need a bunch of crazy stuff here. Cool, we're just gonna apply it, and then we're gonna save this file, and then we're gonna re-render this, and we're gonna see how it is. The cost. All right, this is not bad. I actually don't mind how I broke things down. I'm just gonna ask it to do it in a different way. I'm gonna tell it, you broke things down into sections here. All right, so this is what I prompted. You broke things down into sections here. I wanted you to make it more into rows with a label instead of sections. Can you please make it a row instead of looking like a section header? There we go. So let's prompt that and we'll see what it is. So basically right here, why this isn't a crazy prompt is because these are just calling these formatted props. And this is taking props and formatting it into basically currency most of the time, or some kind of percentage. So hang on, we're gonna apply that now and just go through it. All right, let's see what we got here. Not terrible still, not exactly what I wanna. Okay. Let's try it again. Remove the titles. So we're just gonna remove these two titles here, and then I think what we can do is a few different things here. We might even need to edit this manually a little bit, which is not what we want to do, but you know what, I will. The cost, the value, the income, the total. What I'm gonna do here is undo all the code edits, and then save it again and kind of restart, right? And I think that's super important if you're new to coding. All right, so let's take a look at the entire thing that I have here. So it's 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3 by 4. We have 2 of the cap rates, so let's just remove one of them, probably the last one here. Move that div. What div did I not need to remove there? Oh, okay, I see now. That's the one thing I think that Cursor needs to work on, is like matching up the divs for you. It's my one real complaint. Otherwise, I think it's actually great software. So now it also fits at the bottom here, which is looking really cool. All right, so we're gonna Command L. First of all, I'm gonna try to make it look more like an Excel sheet, and then we can change and rearrange these values. I'm thinking about coloring them now. Okay, cool. So now it's putting them all into a table. Let's see what it gives me. Applying update mix. Yeah. Cool. Accept it. Yep. Okay. This actually looks way better. Okay. All right. I actually love this, and I think we're going to rearrange a lot of this stuff. Now we are in the calculator and calculator values section here. This square right here, I want it to fully expand all the way across, right? Because right now it looks really weird. Or what I can do here is hack this together a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean. I can remove the rounded edges and give it this look that it's just there. But hang on, I don't know if I fully want to do that. let's see what it looks like. Border to border gray. All right, so we need this, and we're just gonna remove it. That looks much better. All right, so we have all of this information now, and it actually looks pretty good. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna go to 30 years. Instead of saying 30 years, I think we should say after. And we'll call this 30 years. Okay, so I think we have it in a much better spot right now, and everything should still be hooked up, right? So you see, when we edit something or change something, our entire calculator is going to change. With that, I think we're going to let it rest at this calculator component. I'm just going to call this completed for now. The thing that I think I could change here is just making this a little bit more of a square, and bring this income and returns over here into this kind of column. I think we might do that as the last thing, and then make this more of a full width kind of thing. Otherwise, I really think it's close to done. The only other thing I'm going to do here is add a blog post or something that explains the calculator. This was a big feature that we just built entirely using AI. So if you ever want to build a calculator, this is a great video on how to do it, and gives you like a pretty big tutorial on how. Thanks again, and happy building with AI. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. I really hope anyone who watched this video is actually building their own stuff. Please subscribe. Thank you.